So when you say to build a Stanley Cup winner, you got to have some of the best defensive players that are available out there. And this guy fit the bill. He won the Stanley Cup with Boston in 1970. He's probably one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever interviewed in my travels with covering NHL and NHL alumni teams. So we're going to talk about the great hero from Kingston, Ontario, the man they called Mr. Rick Smith. Now, Richard Allen Smith, born June 29th, 1948, played in the NHL and the WHA for almost 15 seasons. And at 5'11", 200 pounds, very solid defenseman. He officially came to major prominence with 3 really solid seasons with the OHA's Hamilton Red Wings. Now, his first season drew enough interest that Boston decided to take a high draft pick for him, 7th overall. And 67 and 68, he put up some solid numbers. In his second year, he was almost at a point-a-game pace. Now, 69, he had a tryout with their farm team in Oklahoma City, enough to make the big team. He didn't score in that first season, but he also played 9 games in the playoffs, which included a very significant result against Montreal, where they almost knocked off the Stanley Cup champions. Now, in 1970, he was part of that strong Boston squad that overachieved in a lot of ways to win the Stanley Cup. And basically, when you had Bobby Orr and other offensive players, you needed players like Rick to be stay at home to make sure that the back end was strong. Now, by the 72 season, Boston decided to reorganize some of their squad. He was traded to the California Golden Seals in 72, where he had a strong second season with the squad with 33 points. Unfortunately, with the WHA was beckoning with better chances and better money. He played parts of 3 seasons with Minnesota. Best season was his first at 38 points, including 10 goals. His last season with Minnesota, he did cross over in one of the rare times where a player goes back to the NHL. And St. Louis had him for 24 games. Now, 77, he was back with the Bruins, and he helped them with that first of 3 consecutive Frozen Four appearances for Boston. His best the offensive season with Boston was 78, where he had 36 points, including 7 goals. And in 1980 was strong as well, as he had a career high of 8 goals in the NHL. Detroit, his last season, he split time with Washington as well that year. Ended up with 5 goals and 6 assists for 11 points. Some really, really significant positive totals. 687 games in the NHL, 219 points, 52 goals. 200 games in the WHA, 109 points, including 20 goals. NHL playoff, some of the best playoff series that Boston played. He was in the lineup, especially that cup run in 1970. Ended up with 78 games, 3 goals, 23 assists for 26 points, and 2-8-10 in WHA 23 games. But talking about his efforts with alumni, he's a type of person, if you ever meet him, you can ask him any question. He loves signing for the kids. He told me he likes going to the smaller rinks across Canada and the States, especially with a lot of his former teammates, to see, the stories how Boston Bruins players have impacted their lives. You see, ladies and gentlemen, in Canada, the Boston Bruins is not considered an American team. They're considered a Canadian team because of the strong presence of many of Canada's best hockey players on the squad over the year, including, Esposito. You're looking at Wayne Cashman. You look at the 72 series, Bobby Orr, Gilbert, Cheevers, the whole deal. So Rick always impressed me because no matter where he was, that was the place to be. And Rick Middleton said, as a joke, while I was interviewing Smith, he said, Rick, why don't you stop smiling for the media? You're always smiling for the media. And that kind of sums it up. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Give me a comment, like, and subscribe, or a basic look at my other podcasts on the channel. We're doing a lot of vintage NHL because we feel that the listeners like you deserve a little bit of tribute of the players that you grew up with. This is not a channel for people 20 and under. This is a channel for those that grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s as young kids, and you set up your hockey cards in front of the TV and you read the stats and you're saying, oh, why did he shift teams? I thought he was playing with Colorado or Quebec or Toronto. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's a hockey card podcast series. Have a good day. Bye.